Hey everybody, how's it going tonight? Welcome on in. I hit the transition scene button before I actually realized I was doing that to go live, so autopilot, I guess. Well, welcome on in. I hope you're having a good night tonight. I am. I'm just getting a bit of my early stream coffee going right now. but hey, it's Thursday night. Welcome in. We're going to do some art, and we're going to have a chill time. This is Wagworks GA. I'm Jeff. You can also call me Wags. I'm half of a creative team with my wife, Ashlee. That's the G and the A. And we do kids comics, largely. So you'll see tonight I'm working on CoreToons, one of our series for that, which is a shorter form comics for kids with a little bit of educational angle to them. Yeah, we also work on like ages 9 through 12, middle grade-ish, more like magical realism and more just works of fiction. I also love to do slice of life comics, stuff like that. And you'll also see video game fan art here, all sorts of stuff, and emotes these days. I do those too, just for this channel, but eventually I'll get them all done. Anyway, that's us. That's what we do here. Trying to think what announcements we've got going tonight. It's been a bit of a busy family week, but not like a huge crazy week going on. Outside of, oh, there's one thing, CoreToons. CoreToons, our fall issue, we've officially started releasing it. So we decided that we wanted to offer it for free to teachers for this whole year. Which is going to be 6 issues. It's a digital magazine format, by the way, in case I never mentioned that. Actually, I have a command for this. Let me just do that. Yeah, so we make that with some fellow KidLit creators. So Ashlee and I tend to do, we do our Sunny Skies and Weatherwise series there, which are actually weather oriented because we are both meteorologists by education. But yeah, we have a couple comics in this fall issue, so I should start, I think by next week I'll have everything ready to have a link to share for everybody. And if you're a teacher, let me know and I can actually get you the link to get in that for and sign up to get that year free. It's kind of our big audience. We wanted to give something that the teachers could use in the classroom that's both fun and teaches a little bit. So we're trying to make sure it's easy for teachers to get it. That's the big one. If you backed the Kids Comics Unite anthology, which we are a part of, the books are just on their way. They are apparently on a very slow boat over. They've been printed and are in shipping and processing between China and here in the States, and we are hopeful to get those books by the end of this month to our fulfillment house. It's been 20 years. Now I know you say I'm old, but my sense of time isn't that bad, Frank. Also, welcome on in. How you doing? But yeah, we hope that they should be to our fulfillment house by around like the end of the month, and they should be getting to backers' hands next month. Yes, that is our plan. Yeah, Frank, how you doing tonight, by the way? Welcome on in. Everybody can welcome Frank on in, moderator extraordinaire and also awesome comic artist. And lately, outstanding employee IT help desk, from what I hear. So hey. And how would you summarize that? Sorry, I'm bringing my chat monitor on up here. Okay. That does occasionally happen. Sometimes. Almost there. Thank you, Twitch. I am live. You're correct. I should just do a Duolingo stream one of these days. I do it almost every day. And I see now that we have you can do subs to get drops in Duolingo. I should just do that. It'd be good times. So what's going on with your coworkers? Were they able to help the older lady with her laptop? That's what I remember. That's where we were last week. That was a loud gulp. Sorry about that, guys. And while we're chatting, I do have. It's always a good dynamic. The dream team. Actually, it could be a really good buddy movie where you start out hating each other and eventually become, you know, begrudging partners and friends. Oh, you're above help desk as a tech support. Okay. Where is it? Let me just bring it on up here real quick. Well, that's not a very helpful help desk if you're not answering calls, right? Like, it's kind of the whole thing. Okay. Why? You have to double the ticket closures as him? So he still somehow gets credit? Also, why doesn't he answer the phone? No, he doesn't. Okay, that's good. Well, if this helps. Okay, your name's on your tickets. Okay. If this helps a little bit, I think I'm done with this emote. All morning. Okay. Was there some kind of outage or just good luck? I mean, if someone's not doing their job and you ask them to do their job and they're like, no, then yeah, you probably can go that route. You had to make her a guide, which you first created as a PNG and then you converted to a PDF. Here, let me just play this because I think it's good. I think I did the last of the flat colors and I did the last of the shading. I decided to not have like a background, so the water is kind of the lure should kind of float in the chat box when we use it. So let's just see. There are some white highlights on there. I feel like rage fishing is the appropriate animation to have going right now. Oh gosh. Yeah, that can be. So you got to deal with an angry customer as well. Okay. Dude with PhD, furious. This all checks out so far. Oh my gosh. He submitted a ticket. Change. But the purple background, that's not, is that something you control? Slash, is it a school color? Because that would be amazing. It's the school color. Oh no. So you've got a faculty of the school angry that the school devices use the school color. Uh-huh. Is this like some major big deal tenured person? It was the school logo. Oh no. I'm so confused. How does someone become irate over this? I'm guessing you probably can't make comics of these situations. Maybe if you make it anonymous, you can, so that nobody gets directly called out. That's a mess. It's a mess. Okay, so yeah, but the whole time you were slammed. Oh no, what was the other guy doing? He was playing the ukulele? Like, this isn't just like a colloquialism for like doing nothing, right? Like literally he's sitting there playing ukulele instead of... That's horrible. Like, yeah, I'm with Fallen on this. Also, hi Fallen. I didn't say hi to you. Welcome on in. Good to see you tonight. How you doing? Yeah, that's like, that seems like a very, very reportable situation. Unless he's related to the professor who was mad about the purple. Oh no. Well, I hope the recovery is going well. When did you come down with it? Just an annoying cough. Yeah. Well, I hope it resolves quickly. I think I got it back in like 21, and that cough was like stuck with me for a month. It was miserable. But I hope yours is not that. Yeah, I think I went on lunch. Oh, Frank, I'm sorry. That sounds pretty miserable. Sore and no energy. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like COVID. Sorry. Sending all the healthy wishes your way. Yeah. So I know I've been looping this goose for a while now. Frank, can you see the goose? And are you happy with the goose? Because I'm getting ready to export this and officially upload it as an emote for the channel. Yeah, that seems like a very reasonable thing to say. All right, then I will real quick hop back here. I'm gonna export and I'm gonna upload. Delightful. Yeah, gotta pause you first. All right, there we go. Oh, so things fall on you. I see. Well, that is a wrinkle. So would you say you're still better off with him there than not? It takes like 30 minutes tops. Oh, goodness. Wait, this is transparent, is it not? No, that didn't export as transparent. Okay, that's not right. Hold on. Probably because I didn't check the box. There we go. All right. Better. Yeah, I mean, Frank, that seems perfectly reasonable, right? Like, it's not like you're asking him to do anything that's outside of his job description. There we go. All right. All right, I'm going to call this Ragefish. I'm going to call it Ragefish. I think that's perfect. It's me. Okay. It has been uploaded and is pending. So that should be coming through. I guess not tonight. Yeah, I would agree. I mean, if it's, again, if it's your job description and you're just like straight up, no, I'm not going to do that, that definitely seems like pushing it. Call me crazy. Call me crazy. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I don't know why I felt like I had to just go check and see if somehow it was out of pending already. It wouldn't be. All right, cool. Guys, we did it. We exported the emote. We have a new one coming. Literally just one guy. Okay. That's good at least, right? I mean, you found your workplace nemesis. It is Ukulele Man. That name doesn't have to stick. But indeed, if everyone else is pretty good, not so bad. He's entitled to not answer the phone since he plugged the speaker in. Clearly. All right. We should probably do a warm up or something, huh? I just need to set up. I was bit of a scramble prepping for a stream tonight. Seems like that's the case lately. It's just been one of those busy seasons of life, you know? You know how it goes. All right, let me bring up our random Pokemon generator here. Hello? There we go. Also, Fallen, question for you. We do, we upload the VODs of the streams to YouTube. Do you want your cakes to be on those? And if so, do you want any attribution credit? Because Ashlee definitely thinks that you should have your own cake Instagram. 100%. I don't know, I think it's a very human thing to, like, you've got your one task and you feel like you do it and you build it out to be so gargantuan that, like, you deserve, I deserve to chill out, like, thank you. Oh, nice. So he's just like, document it and hang in there. Not the worst advice, honestly. That's yeah. I have a supervisor who like I think if you were to etch down his, like, most frequently given advice, it would probably be documentation saves lives and careers. Like, yeah, it. Oh, no worries, Fallen. Oh, the question was, so yeah, we put up the VODs of these streams on YouTube, and I wanted to know if you are okay with your cake pictures being in those VODs, and if you are, do you want any attribution in the description? Ashlee was like 100% saying you need like a cake Instagram. Your cakes are beautiful. So kind of a two-part. Is it okay if we have them in the VODs, and do you want how do you want to be credited for your cakes, if it's okay? Okay. That's good, because I'm happy to share them. They're beautiful cakes. Alright, so I'm gonna do... There it is, okay. Here, we're gonna go over here. I'm gonna go ahead and generate the random Pokemon while we're going. And from there, we will get ready to go into warm-up. Okay, so first up, we've got Snubble, we've got Bellsprout, and we've got Duraludon. Duraludon sounds better. Also, Frank, you are now, much like me, a working man, and you know, need to actually sleep. Do you want to do sharing time at a different time to allow you to get sleep better? This is mid. Oh no. Wait, what's mid? The Pokemon? Do you want to... The Pokemon Fusion generator. I'm not ready to go to Pokemon Fusions yet. I think when we kind of start exhausting a bit more the random Pokemon, then we might start going to Fusions. You like ending sharing time? Okay. I'll make sure that we do it. We can even do it a few minutes before midnight, if Eastern time, if that helps, just to give you, you know, a chance for rest. And then I guess that actually also gets me asleep a bit earlier too, which is not a bad thing. Huh. You know, I just realized. Oh no. Well, that did work. Okay. Delightful. I realized I printed something, but my chat monitor was blocking the printer output, and I was, you know, that was earlier when I was like running around doing 100 things, and it's good now. What's up, Frank? I mean, I'm kind of leaning. I mean, Snubble would be the obvious choice here, I feel like. But I feel like I want to go for something a little bit more challenging, and it's a little more interesting to imagine what like a Bellsprout might sleep like. So I'm gonna try Bellsprout. That's what I'm gonna go for. So, was there more, Frank? Sorry, not to cut you off. Not that I can cut you off technically, because you can just keep typing in chat no matter what I'm trying to say. 52 streams in a year. 1,000 Pokemon. Yeah, clearly. That's like 20 years. Yes, that's true. And they're releasing new Pokemon. Well, I'm sure the next gen will. It doesn't necessarily look like the one that's coming out next week will have new Pokemon, although maybe they'll do new forms of the starters. That would be nice to see. You started phase 2? That's exciting. What does phase 2 actually entail? You're right, Frank. I mean, it's a good point. We probably are not going to just run out of Pokemon here. Yeah, I'm gonna roll with these for now. Maybe we'll try Pokemon Fusion next week. We'll see. But I still like doing the basic Pokemon for warm-ups. Nice. So are you still looking at like buying a place? With 100% interest. That sounds Terrible. Alright, I need to get a reference real quick. By the way, for anyone watching who is not aware of the Pokemon Fusion generator, I don't know the actual official URL site. I do know that I have seen the creations that come out of it. Are you supposed to hit your credit limit? No. Not typically. No, that's not usually how you want to do it. Mm-hmm. It's so high that it'll never happen. So yeah, this is okay. It's taking a long time to load. Cool. Let me share this with you just so you can see what what this looks like. It's where you take the sprites for 2 existing Pokemon and it generates a random unholy mashup of them. You can see right here. So there's, wait, why is this not showing up? You can't see. That's funny that it doesn't capture it. OBS knows. OBS says no. I'm gonna spare you. That's hilarious. There? Is it there? Did that get it? There we go. Bell break. So this is what the Pokemon Fusion generators do. Well, I mean, like, so Frank, the traditional wisdom is, you know, you definitely don't just get the card and like buried under a rock, but you don't, you know, max it out. The way you build the credit is with, you know, you use it for some things, but you make sure you pay it off in full every month, and that like builds up your credit score because it shows like that you're responsible with it and all of that. I'm gonna get the timer ready to go. I'm gonna do the thing and actually put the name of the Pokemon here in a second. You're gonna buy a tiny home one. I mean, you can get some kits on like Amazon even for an easy way to max it out. Yeah, that would be an easy way to max it out, but again, that's not the way you typically want to do it. From what my understanding is, you don't want to max that guy out there. Just gonna let him chill. All right. While we're bantering, I'm gonna go ahead and get warm up started. So, if you've been here before, you know the drill. This is gonna be a 5-minute quick sketch of the Pokemon. That's what I'm doing. You're welcome to join in. You don't have to draw the Pokemon. I've been working a desk job all day. I haven't been drawing, so I need to loosen up my arm and get my brain kind of tuned into art mode, which is why I'm doing this. It's not going to be finished. It's just going to be a rough sketch. Maybe I'll start doing like a little more detailed pencil lines, but really this is just to start thinking about shapes and all that. So, I'm gonna, you know, use the command that my awesome mod made for me. Yeah, and we're gonna get started. So 5-minute timer starts now. Frank, don't do it. Come on, man. Alright, so maybe instead of like everything else kind of, you know, has like a laying, like reclining pose, maybe Bellsprout, like, roots itself in the ground and kind of gets this like little slightly droopy. Let me do more like this. You know what's funny is I think Bellsprout is actually in Pokemon Sleep, which I do use as my sleep tracker, but I always forget what the different poses are for it. You can even check me against it. I actually do the sleeping poses because I like to kind of give myself the challenge of, or the limitation to help me not spend the time thinking about it, but also because I did some like sleeping Paldean starters back when Scarlet Violet first came out, and I kind of wanted to continue the theme. I actually did those as prints and put them in like our shop. And so I kind of wanted to keep going and keep building like the sleeping Pokemon vibes. Huh. So yeah, I like the idea of it rooting itself a bit and dozing off. You want one of those traveling cards so you can egg my house and get rewarded for it? So that thing I said about not getting past sketch, I guess I was not considering the fact that this is actually a very straightforward Pokemon with little to no detail. So I'm gonna keep going. Fallen Such. That one I was pretty sure was a lie to start with. That one I actually got. Yeah, a traveling card could be good, like getting the extra points when you buy tickets and all that. I will say, just, don't over dilute on different cards with points. Like pick kind of one for the most part or two and stick with them, so you're actually building up points instead of like having like a handful of points here, a handful of points there, and you never really get any of the benefit. I'm not an expert financial advisor, by the way. Like, I'd like to think I know a lot of the basic financial responsibility things, but I also have a very excellent spouse who loves me. Signing up for 20 cards. Frank, don't do it. This is the trap. Yep. See, it's so easy to accidentally undo. That's the one thing that frustrates me here in Clip is like, let's do more like that. Is it's so easy to accidentally gesture undo. Actually, so the stem is a little bit thinner right before the bell. And so the root would be thickest here. So yeah, so what I'm doing now is I'm doing what they call pencils. So I'm taking my sketch and I'm picking kind of my favorite lines and I'm just tightening it up, adding more detail with the goal that basically when I come in to do my final lines, at this point, I've made all my big detail decisions, and really I'm just focusing on, for me, I like to focus on the things like the stroke weight and all of that as I'm working on my final lines and not be trying to make my detailed decisions any longer. That's me, at least. I heard that kiting the cards is something you want to do. What is... I don't think I know that. Kiting? Alright, that is time. yeah, thanks to this being a pretty simple Pokemon, we actually got pretty much all the way through pencils here. Yeah, that's exciting. Seriously though, what is guiding the cards? I have no idea. I don't know why I started whispering. Don't let Frank know that I don't know. He's gonna call me old. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and save this. Today is the 9th. Paying off a credit card on another credit card. I mean, in theory, you're at least getting credit, building good credit by paying off the one, but yeah, I wouldn't advise it. Because basically, I mean, maybe you can stay ahead of interest, but if you don't, you're just kind of giving away money, like, to companies that already have a bajillion dollars. Bajillion and a half, maybe. It's not illegal. I didn't think it was illegal. Is it illegal and you're saying it's not illegal? I don't know. I didn't think so until you said it wasn't. And now I'm like, why would you say that? But neither are the things the credit card will do. Yeah, I would stick with the building good credit by using it for reasonable amounts of purchases and making sure that you have enough to pay them all off at the end of the month. Build that good credit to help with all the other things in life that you may need credit for. That is the traditional wisdom I was giving, and I pass it on here to you. So it is, so it shall forever be. Alright, so I was doing a thing last week. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so we're working on the Sunny Skies comic. I was doing thumbnails, and yeah. Listen, Frank, I can't tell you how to live your life. But I do consider you a friend, and I would just recommend not doing that. You know, I want good things for you guys. So this is where we started out. We've got this is our new Sunny Skies comic, continuing our series on weather map literacy. So this one's about talking about the idea of cold fronts. And I started out, we have these, Ashlee did kind of this rough sketch of everything. I took a picture of that, chopped it all up, put it in here, and I've been starting to kind of thumbnail it out a little bit. Got most of the way through this first page. This is actually going to be a spread, like a 2-pager. Only max it out if you can pay it all off before you have to pay interest on everything. That is my advice to you. Okay. Yeah, so I got most of the way through this page. I am not sure I love how I've laid out the top panel. I don't think it's quite there. Like you look, and Ashlee kind of sketched it out as an idea, like almost as like a series of spots of spot art of them running about, but or at least that's kind of what I had thought. And then I had her look at it today, and she's like, well, make sure that the tree is like bare because this is going to be going out in December. And I was like, oh, right. That's not a tree that's cut off. That's a tree that has no leaves, which I totally failed to interpret. Yeah, so I'm gonna redo some work on this first panel and kind of nail that down a little bit before I move on to page 2. Apparently I just like drawing my big poofy trees. Also, I'll need to do a little bit more to kind of establish where they are, like the park that they're in. The good news is I do have a fairly nice setup to have a boundary of like the playground area. But what I would like to do is get the swing and the slide oriented, because like usually on playgrounds things are still pieces of equipment unless they have like a circular like connector between them. They're at least at 90-degree angles to each other. They kind of the large sides always line up. So I need to just adjust that. I think what I want to do is tweak the swing. I think that's the one that I want to adjust. I'm pretty happy with the alignment of the slide. So we're gonna try this. Try the perspective tool, perhaps? Nope, that was not the tool that I wanted. Let's try the skew. Okay. I can do this, put Chloe a little bit closer to the edge of the panel. And then I could actually probably scoot the slide back to make it a little... Ooh, it's raining outside. It's been rainy here lately. Scoot this back just a touch. But what I didn't say was congratulations on entering phase 2 of the Bring Fallen to New Mexico. That's exciting, guys. Is there anything more aside from apparently maxing out credit cards that's going on as the part of the plan to find a place? What's a consolidation loan? It's a loan that you get to pay off all your other loans and collect them into one thing, so you have just one payment and you're not splitting across a bunch of things. It can actually be used a lot of times to, if you got some that have higher interest rates, you can use it to kind of clear those off the plate all at once. You lost a tooth. No tooth fairy showed up. That's a shame. I don't know what's going on with the tooth fairies these days. Tell you what. No, it's so gross. Anyway, so what I could do is, nope, that would be like rocketing them off the border of the playground. What if I did it more like, what just happened? Okay, I do need a guide layer. That's great. All right, cool. Yeah, or at least, yeah, if you can, that's usually better. Again, because like, if the interest is piling up, if you can pay off the high interest loans and have one loan that has a lower interest rate, in the long run, you're going to be saving a lot more money. It's going to lower your payoff amount. But if you have no credit, why are you asking about consolidation loans? Or had no credit? Also, this is I never expected when I started streaming to be giving financial advice. I am not an expert at this. You might want to like do some research for when you pay off your 20 credit card. Oh no. Oh no. I've created a monster. He's protecting. Oh no. Fallen, I'm sorry to hear that. Gotcha. Okay. Well, that is no fun to deal with, especially when it was, you know, kind of, you got coerced into it. Good luck. Yeah, that's not easy. I've heard horror stories of worse. I think when I first went off to school early on, I needed some help because I kind of overdid it a little bit. I didn't pay close attention to my budgeting. Overdid it a little bit. Yeah, I needed help. So I will say I understand where you're coming from. Spend it all in the casino. I'm assuming, Frank, that you're joking, but you know, just for the record, yes, please don't do that. Please don't do that thing that you're joking about doing. Okay, so here's like the boundary of the playground, right? So there's that, and then there's like field and that. Alright, I think that's a little better. I mean, I'll clearly draw the rest of the tree. Something like that. Actually, this can neatly cover up all this, so I don't have to do this crazy detail, maybe. Okay, I feel like this reads a little bit clearer. At least for a thumbnail, I'm happier with this and ready to move on with my life. Yeah, Fallen, I think in that kind of case, usually a consolidation loan would be the thing that people do. Just, you know, be careful of the rates. Typically, it's not great to go for an adjustable rate unless you're sure you can pay it off before the rate balloons. Just give you that heads up. That was largely part of the big, like, financial crisis back in what, like 08? Yeah, look out for those adjustable rate, because if you don't pay it off before it balloons, it becomes terrible. Oh, sorry, Frank. I mean, if you have a card, that's where you have to build up the good credit first, and then, you know, you can apply for some of the other ones that are a little bit more challenging to get. Just, you know, again, don't use more credit than you can pay off if you can, like at the end of the month, if you can avoid it. Gotcha. I mean, they can be scary if again, especially some of the ones with like the more potentially predatory terms, like where it's like an interest rate that seems great for the first like X amount of years, and then all of a sudden it goes crazy high. You're getting an Xbox credit card. Is there an Xbox credit card? Does it give you gamer points? Do they still have gamer points? I never owned an Xbox, actually. I have no idea what I'm talking about here. All right, I should draw comics. That's what I came here to do. All right. Yeah, so I got that. So then we're just kind of... But I might want to adjust it at least to show that they're opening the door with, you know, their hands. I'm so confused right now. Air drowns. I mean, I don't know what you actually call that. So I guess just suffocating. It's just suffocating. Never mind. There's a word for that. I knew that. It's okay. It's all good. Can I ask why Frank thinks he's a dying fish right now? I feel like there's something that I missed. Just maybe. He made a sound that sounded like a fish out of water, so he started actually making this sound. Wow. I appreciate the commitment to the bit. 100%. I was doing a thing. Still pending. I am really kind of hoping that like the emo gets approved before the end of stream, but I think 2 hours is probably a little bit optimistic. But we'll see. At least by next time, we should see it, and that'll be exciting. Little does she know I just make dumb sounds. I don't know that I heard them so much on your stream, but believable. I do. I mean, you guys listen to me make dumb sounds for 2 hours, so it's all good. Oh, I know that. Maybe if just move the fridge part here like this. And I can make them a little bit bigger too. Something like that. I think that'll work. Undo. That was not the button I wanted to hit. Too big. Much too big. Okay. I think that reads a little bit clearer. It's a little, yeah, it didn't need to be so zoomed out before. Well, wait, weren't you making noises to try to make her laugh? I thought that was the goal. Maybe. By the way, I still stand by my previous comment that, you know, you should probably not rely solely on me for financial advice and definitely do some research. Yeah. A scary ASMR whisper. I like that laughter is the reaction to that. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna probably move on to page 2 before I come back and start doing pencils. I can't believe Fallen is just laughing at you. So cruel. Unbelievable. You think you know somebody? But we know the truth. Sure, I think we actually do know the truth in this case. Okay. Actually, you know what I should probably do before we jump into page 2? We're right at 11 o'clock Eastern time. This is where I usually take my break. So I'm gonna go on break for a couple of minutes, grab some water, stuff like that. I'm gonna run a 1-minute ad roll, and yeah, I'm gonna come back in just a few, and we'll keep going. So I'm gonna put y'all on Be Right Back, and yeah, I'll see you in a few. Have a good break, everybody.
Blackcap chickadee.
All right, we're back. I hope you had a good break. Frank, did we have a bot friend stop by while I was away? Thank you for your modding, by the way, in case I haven't said it today. It's much appreciated. All right. So we have a compound action in this panel suggestion. Sometimes compound actions are fine. It's when you've got, you know, two different things happening in one character. However, in this one, we are meant to have chattering teeth and kind of like a talking word bubble. So I'm gonna have to choose one because those don't make sense together. Is he chirping like a baby bird, or how does he indicate that he thinks you're a mama bird? I'm curious. So I'll bring him here a little bit more front and center. He keeps opening his mouth. I will just have her talking. You're hungry. This is my life. Oh man. I'm not sure at which point this goes from like sweet to kind of disturbing, but you know, for now I think it's okay. Honestly, Fallen, I do think that is still an improvement. If you're not willing to chew and regurgitate food for him, how much do you really love him? That's just the question. So, still kind of doing the shivering kind of motion. We're saving money that way. To lemon. I may not actually get that reference. I'm guessing that it, you know, is related to what we were just talking about, so I think that was one of the Disney shows I did not catch, or movie, Disney Channel movie? Spit lemonade on him, or any beverage. You know, we all have our love languages. And I guess that's yours, Frank. Disney Channel. Yeah. That one I missed. Or we haven't discovered it. You were telling me about this like last week, weren't you? Maybe just one of them, because someone needs to get the lemon. As I'm like drawing characters getting lemonade out of a refrigerator, it's kind of perfect timing. Fallen's love language is throwing cookware at you. Again, we all have our love language, you know? It's just, no, it isn't. What if it's like Gladware? Like, you know, lightweight, makes a satisfying like tonk type sound, but it doesn't actually do any harm. leadware would work. Not that I'm encouraging anyone to throw anything at anybody else. She threw cast iron at me. Now that takes an arm, let me tell you. Only throwing clothes in a blanket. I'm sure he earned it. The blanket. Okay, Frank, that was not one of your most believable ones. Watch Halloween Town? Where would I watch Halloween Town? And you're not talking about like the place in Nightmare Before Christmas? He wouldn't give them back after. I mean, that is always a risk. Disney Plus? Okay. Oh, we talked about maybe using the words cold front. We don't, so this is Sunny Skies. We don't typically use words. We try to make it as wordless as possible, but this might be helpful for building up that literacy. We will try it both ways. Maybe I'll make the word bubble bigger too. You're like, no, you can't have any. They're mine now. Actually, maybe I'll have her just, grabbing the lemonade out of the fridge. Since it is her fridge. Oh, my stuff. That was at my wardrobe. Well, I think that's very sweet. I mean, I remember similarly when Ash and I were dating, like the first time I had to go, like, leave town on a big trip, I left one of my shirts. Not that my fashion was that incredible. Oh no. Who's this grandpa? I don't know who you're talking about. But I'll answer in their stead. Don't worry, Frank. Go watch your Beverly Hillbillies. What? I don't think I ever actually watched that show. I think it was on rerun somewhere, but it was not on reruns that I watched. He picked lead. So what you're saying is, he knew full well what he signed up for. shelf where the lemonade was. Da, 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 da. Fair. Alright, two kind of shelves here. I don't know. I won't draw every item on the shelf of the fridge. But I will have to do some level of detail, which I'm not particularly looking forward to. But I can do some. I don't have to do everything. It's fine. It's fine. It'll be fine. You ever do that with comics, Frank, where you just like accidentally signed yourself up for way more detailed of a scene than you meant to? I'm excited for you guys. By the way, in case I haven't said so, I think I can see, you know, you're really working, getting the plan in motion, and I think it's gonna work out for you. Merging all layers, yep. Alright, let's go on to this panel. Oh, that is far more than I meant to zoom out. Okay. Oh. You ever have the thing where, you know, you realize you missed a very important detail? Because I definitely missed this really important detail. This one right here. More panels. Yeah. Okay. How do I want to do this? Okay. All right. Shame on me. Indeed, shame on me. Missing the detail that was right in front of my face. Okay. So I definitely like the size of the panel where she introduces the idea of a cold front. That's important. And I like the big panel at the end with the moment showing her looking at the map and the cold front, and probably will have Corey sipping the lemonade at that point. But like also I don't have more than a spread to work on this. So I'm gonna need to split something. Probably just split panel 2. But I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. I could do it. I don't want to do a crazy amount since this is like our kindergarten through 2nd grade. So too many panels or too many small panels is kind of also out of the question. As long as this isn't circling back to our previous conversation. It's kind of amazing how that theme just emerged right as I was working on those panels, or right as I was about to. Don't mind me. Okay, so she's scribbling a weather map. What is she scribbling a weather map on? Because like the main point we're trying to bring home here is reiterating the fact that on a weather map, the blue lines, the thick blue lines with the icicle-like triangles on them denote a cold front, which is where the cold air is doing the pushing between cold air and warm air. So I think this panel here is very important to we kind of actually label it, and then we'll have one here that shows sort of what it looks like on a map. All right, I think I know what I need to do, but I just, kids in a kitchen, like, would she just pull out paper towels, napkins, scratch paper? But also, this is kind of a huge map for her to be showing, like where she'd be drawing it. So scribble map drawing. Kids draw on table or floor or fridge. No, can't. I do not want to be responsible for kids doing that. If they, read this and are like, oh, that's cool, I saw it in a comic, I can do it. I think like the simplest thing is to just have her like split this one in two. Split panel 2 into 2. Probably stack them vertically. Have one where she's like opening a drawer, pulling out paper, and then another one where she's like scribbling furiously. Then we come down to panel now 4, and she's like, it's actually more of like an over the shoulder thing where they're looking down at the map that she's drawn, but it's like paper size, not gigantic. I like how this last panel, if it were a giant map, it like calls out to, the TV meteorologists, the broadcast ones, but I just don't know how we pull that off in a believable way. And maybe Corey, while she's doing all this, is busy pouring lemonade. I kind of like that idea. Okay, let's try it. The worst thing that could happen is that it's terrible, and then I cry. But that's okay. Everything's great. Alright, so there's my instinct. Let's see how this goes. Rename you to panel 4. Rename you to panel 2. It's funny how much I've gotten used to the game shops, like the songs that they play on rotation for their video game study lounge channel. This track totally messed with me the first few times I heard it, which by the way is by an artist called Bird Boy, and it's called Great Horned Owl. That's the track. Honestly, I kind of dig it now. It's good times. All right, let's start figuring this out. So maybe there's, nope, that is not the pencil tool, friend. All right, I got this. So like here's a table maybe move Corey over a little bit. He doesn't need to be quite so front and center. And also I can scale this back a little bit. Okay, I think that's good. By the way, Frank, are you working on something tonight? Always working. That's actually not. No, with the eye there, it just looks so unhinged for a second there. It was a little alarming to me. So here she is digging in there. We'll have the fridge like here. I shouldn't probably overdo the sound effects because this is again our younger group, but so I think I'm trying to figure out the perspective I want to do here. At first I thought like an overhead. Maybe we'll actually just go to this table as the main focus here. Corey's kind of getting blown away as she like rapidly moves over and starts scribbling on the desk. Extend the table a little bit, just like that. That's fun. Okay. That's intense. So she is technically left-handed. If any of you are compiling Chloe Cloud lore, she is left-handed. So she's turning quickly and scribbling down, scribbling down. Okay. I think I like this, because it kind of gets us from A to B pretty well. And then we'll do, actually maybe I do need one more detail in panel 2. Instead of sound effects here, I'll have her she's got the paper and like maybe the pen in her hand. Yeah. I like that. That reads a little more clearly. I think. So then she can be I'll make her a little bit bigger because I think, yeah. Okay, yeah, definitely bring her up in size. Anna, what do we think? I feel like this reads okay. Like a little snowman or something there, and like a little sunny guy down there. Okay, so I'll do this like that. I'll turn this off too. Okay, I think that's okay. What I'll do is this, so I can look at the actual spread. Oh man, I picked different colors for my pencils, or for my thumbnails. It's fine. It's fine, everybody. Always here for the Final Fantasy IX music. Alright, so yeah. Whoopsie daisy. Alright. Yeah, so what I want to do is here in panel one. I'll move the word bubble here just slightly up. I know I don't want to get too close to the edge of the page, but I want to do this so I can give a little room for a nice like, huh? What do you mean? Question mark. And then I can not do that in this panel. I can just have him watching and pouring lemonade. Okay, yeah, I think this is good. I think this is the flow. Something like that. Okay. Yeah. Slightly in panel 3 on page 2. I mean, the other alternate thing was that I'd have him like Corey drinking it in panel 3, because then like he's breathing out the cold. Because I want to again reinforce that it's cold. The cold front is cold, as it turns out. Because yeah, what we're really kind of going for with this whole series anyway is, hold on a second. Just a moment, pulling something up. Just making a note to look that one up later. That's really pretty. All right, what I was doing before I got just utterly distracted. Was not that. Bringing up this, because like the goal is for kids, like when we finish our series on weather maps, to be able to just kind of look at something like this and know what's going on and be able to kind of be like, oh, okay, I know what that means. I actually haven't even looked at this. Yay, that's why we're so rainy. You can see the cold front right over us. How perfect is that? Well, surely you know, right? Like, I'm just like for kids. Like, here's day 1, day 2. Man, it's just gonna hang over us. I guess we'll be clear enough on Sunday, Saturday actually, Saturday night. Okay, there we go. I mean, you want to go really crazy, you can go with this guy. That's got the actual stations plotted on it. That's a good time. You can't even really see that. Hold on. Let me just. There we go. That's the whole thing. That's good times right there. I say that's a party and a half. This is the current, by the way, this is the current surface analysis chart from the Weather Prediction Center. In case you were curious what that actually is. Just showing the observations and frontal systems as currently observed, including this lovely occluded front directly over Orlando. I'm pretty sure that 77 temperature and dew point is actually Orlando. Yeah, just a little bit west. Me, never. Yeah, anyway. So hopefully we're getting to a point where like that's that kind of thing. I mean, maybe not with the METAR station plots, that might be too much, but we're just like a basic weather map. Kids, even like kindergarten through 2nd grade, can look at it and be like, oh, I know what's happening. Do they know where they are on the map? Maybe. I didn't actually think about at what point kids learn that kind of geography, but I think it also probably varies by kid and family. So anyway, all right, we're at quarter till right now. I'm happy with these thumbnails. I could start pencils, but I also kind of want Ashlee to be able to see and give any commentary on it before I jump too far into pencils. Granted, pencils aren't too far committed to anything where it's that painful to change it, but at the same time, it might be nice for her to be able to do that. So I might maybe call my drawing here. It feels early though. It feels so early. Let's see. Hold on, let me just take a look over here. Still pending approval. Okay. I will note I also did far more detail on my thumbnails on page 1 than on page 2. Isn't it amazing how much you change what you do week to week? I mean, okay. Let's see. Is there any more adjustment I want to do on this thumbnail before I kind of call it? I will say the perspective doesn't make a lot of sense in the lower right corner of panel 1. I would have to kind of flatten the whole thing, which I could do. I guess a little bit. I don't know. I think it's sufficient. It doesn't have to be perfect. I get stuck sometimes in that whole loop of like good enough versus perfect. Yeah. We can start.
Thank you so much for playing my game.
You know what? It's okay. It's 11:48. I've gone late like the last month or two on streams, so I can actually call my art time here. And if we're ready, we could go into sharing time. So if Fallen and Frank, if you guys have anything you want to share, we could jump into that. There we go. Okay, yeah, no worries. No worries. Take a look. Let me know when you got one. I'm just kind of chilling here. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call this. We're gonna hop back to just chatting. We can do it that way. That's all good. I haven't even looked at the Discord to see if Frank's already had something like sitting there for 20 minutes. Which is always a possibility. Oh wow, Fallen, you're incredibly fast. All right, cool. Let me bring that up. So, I believe that was the command. Let's see. Hey, we got it. Thanks, Frank. Okay, there we are. Nice. I mean, this is a beautiful one as well. Let me go ahead and bring it up. There we go. We can go even more in here. That's better. All right. So, tell me about this cake. Like I see we've got, you know, the dreaded like hand-packed glittery substance here. I don't even know. You don't remember what the customer ordered it for? I mean, it feels like either birthday or wedding would be my guess, especially with 3 tiers. That's usually like a wedding cake that you're talking. Yeah. Also, like the stripes around the base, like they remind me of like an accent color for a wedding, and roses, obviously. It feels like a wedding cake. Oh, so they're not piped. Those are actually made out of hard sugar and fondant. Very cool. I like the vine work, by the way. You didn't make those? Okay. So what is the piping around the base of each layer? What kind is this? I'm not yet I've not yet learned from the ones that you've shared before how to identify the different types. A bubble border. Okay. So then this next one is a zoom in of it, so we can get a better look at the bubble border and one of the roses, and like, so for like that size cake, how long does it usually take to do the hand packing on like the gold glitter? I said hand packing, but I don't think that's the right term. I don't know what it actually is. That's just what I'm calling it. A couple of minutes? Okay. So it's not super extended misery, just like, just takes some time. And focus, I imagine. It's just messy. So I'm guessing you do that before, do you do that before you put it like on the second tier of the cake? So that like the glitter doesn't fall off on the first tier? Yeah, okay. So, like, looking at this, what is your favorite part of the cake? And if I'm asking like way too many questions, please feel free to tell me to chill, but I'm just curious. Going back to view number 1 and 2. 1 and 2. The leaves and the vines. Yeah, I really like that, especially in this first one where you can see the vine work. I think that's really pretty. I do like that a lot. You hated bubble borders. Oh, that's right. You were telling me that with the one of the other ones you showed, you didn't like that, the way that one came out. They're pouring and it looks stupid. So for a cake like this, I'm assuming it's already set, like you had to do a bubble border for it, like it was just kind of following the design. Yeah, okay. If I can ask, what would you have done differently if it was up to you? It's always fun learning how people think in terms of these kinds of like design challenges. Reverse would have looked way better. Yeah, I could see that. The one that you showed, it was last week, right? Last week was the reverse. It looked really good. Oh, nice. Yeah, I like that. Reverse border, teal instead of red, silver glitter. I could see that. But you would still pick the glitter layer, despite it being kind of a pain. Yeah, okay. I can see it. I am always partial to a teal anyway, and silver, so I am on board with you on that one. Oh no. Do you ever do the thing where you look at a picture and you see a face in it or see something and then you can't unsee it? The glitter pulls the design together, and as annoying as the full sprinkle layers are, they are pretty on some. That's true. I agree. Like, so I think I've explained, like, I do this sometimes, like, with, like, sinks. I'll see, like, the big mouth and the two eyes where the things are. So, yeah, so, like, the roses are the eyes, right? And there's, like, a hat here, and here's the nose, and these are teeth, and these are teeth. That's the face that I saw, and it's kind of hilarious and terrifying. Yeah, so eye, nose, teeth, open mouth. Yeah, it's terrible. I can't unsee it when I see stuff like that sometimes. But like I don't see it here, for example. No, I kind of do. Oh man, but the cake is beautiful. I don't know. The human brain is trained to look for faces and stuff pretty well. So in some ways it makes sense, but yeah. Yeah. Sorry, maybe that's just a weird me thing. Tell you what though. Base icing. So what? Base icing round cake. So what is a base icing round cake? Okay, the base. Yeah, I mean, I got that. Are you saying just like icing the base? No. Oh, gotcha. Oh, yeah. Because the surface of the cake can also be like a little bit crummy, right? And so it's a lot harder to get the base icing to stay on. Yep, round cakes crumble very easily. Okay, I get you. That makes sense. Yeah. Sorry, it took me a little while to get there, but I did eventually get it. Oh, two pieces on top of another with icing in the middle. Yep. Sometimes the top cracks. Oh goodness. Is it harder? Like I'm guessing the bigger the round is, the worse it is? I'm assuming as much. No? Oh, really? Interesting. Oh, the smaller. Oh, is it because the curve is going to be tighter if it's like a smaller round? The bigger bad for the cracks. Oh, okay. Did you ever master the because do you use like the turntable for that? Is that, I feel like I've seen a lot of that videos of that. It looks cool. The smaller bad for crumbles. Okay. I get it. The turntable always looks super cool whenever I've seen it. Gonna hop back here just real quick. Beep. Oh, nice. Line work post. Aw, I really want to see the dialogue for this one now. Okay. Alright. Wait, the turntable for rectangle cake as well? Holy moly. Yeah, I believe it. That's awesome that you mastered it. Like, it looks like whenever I see the cake decorating videos on YouTube, like yeah, it looks so cool when someone uses the turntable well. I mean, do you continuously turn it with like a rectangle cake, or is it like you just turn it to get each side and you pause in between? Because that seems like my brain is trying to fit the square and the round together. Okay. Keep going. Holy moly. Okay. Yeah, that's really impressive. It looks so cool seeing that done well. I have no idea how to do any of it. Just for the record. Just have to have your hand movements ready. Okay, I mean, it makes sense, but I'm sure it also is harder to master than it is to think of, if that makes sense. Lighten up on the corners and tighten on the sides. Okay. Interesting. It's cool. It's cool, like, kind of getting the details on something that I have, like, never done before. I find that really interesting. So thank you for sharing, by the way, and sharing the details. That's pretty awesome. Oh yeah, I bet. So do you have to like plan for it and leave the frosting out to soften up a bit, or is it just kind of how you mix the frosting? Depends on the time of year. Okay. I would never, I mean, it's funny because I know, weather and humidity and all these things that vary by season and temperature, but I never thought about the application for frosting a cake. Put it near the ovens if it's winter. Put it in the freezer if it's summer. That makes sense. So wait, was the temperature variation that great in the bakery? Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. The frosting's in the back. So that's like away from the ovens? I don't really know how any of this works. I'm just trying to absorb it, man. Okay. By the way, Frank, you've been waiting so patiently. Thank you. It's outside of the cooler. Okay. I think I've kind of got a picture of it, but it's so interesting just thinking about like how you have to account for time of year and all that stuff. Yeah, it's cool. Alright. Oh wait, so you could exit through the cooler? I never thought of that. You got like your own secret escape hatch. That's fun. Nice. I mean, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Just bring this up real quick. You walked all the way around to avoid people. I mean, fair. I feel like that's fair. Let me just get this set to go. All right. Like just for the sake of avoiding them, or like were people, I don't know, overly talkative, angry, too nice? Oh, Sam's Club. Yeah. I answered that like I totally understood, but it's because I envisioned that it was just like super crowded. But I don't actually know what you were going to say. By the way, Frank, I know it's getting on in time, so I will bring your comic up here real quick. Oh, it was notorious for rude people. Do you find that places like Sam's Club, people are more like, I don't know, less kind? Yeah, I mean, it's fair. You don't have to deal, like, if people are going to be rude, you shouldn't have to deal with that. You can choose to nope out. I've only been in those places like a handful of times ever. Like, I know a lot of people swear by them, but not really us. It's just not really how we tend to work. Yeah. By the way, Frank, I really like this. Like, I feel like this definitely has that that really good Calvin and Hobbes vibe to it, where, you know, they're discussing something deeply philosophical, or at least starts out with something like seemingly small, and then it builds to like this like really nice point at the end. So Fallen, is it your dislike for Sam's and Costco, is it because of how they are and what they work, or is it because like having worked at one before? That's basically it. No, I mean it's perfect. Like, I think it reads really well. I like, you know, it does that nice transition. Your line work has gotten so good. I really like how clean it is, how expressive it is. If you want the full script, go to Frankstagram and scroll all the way to the bottom. I mean, I can do that. So this is the ones that you've been reworking? So wait, is it the ever wonder why we're here one? Yeah, okay. That's right. I just liked a comic that you posted 174 weeks ago. I'm a psychopath. It's true. Do you want to share this one to see like how much growth has happened? Yeah? All right, let's do it. Well, that didn't work. Just a second. Just a second. I'm just gonna recapture it. It's fine. Almost there. Thanks for waiting, everybody. Alright. So, can we totally side by side this? We'll do it this way. Yeah, look at this. This is so cool. Yeah, you can share it so I can vomit. Don't vomit. I mean, I think the original one still communicates the concept really clearly. It's got the, the nice 4-panel structure for the joke. Clearly your art has come along so much. Also, like, the tone, the way that you did the like, the way that you change the scenery, like, in the new version, it totally changes the meaning, if you ask me. And I think it gives a really, really nice sentiment to it, you know? You know, instead of it being about, oh, hey, a goose can talk, like, you're actually being like, look at this beauty all around us, and, you know, it's crazy to have to wonder why. I don't know, I think it's great. I really... I don't know, I think it's really cool to look at stuff like this and see how you've grown, like, compare the beginning and the end. Like, I mean, we talked about this before, like, you've seen Jim Davis's early Garfield stuff, and it's so drastically different from, like, later Garfield. Anybody who's been doing comics long enough, their early stuff and their newer stuff has a crazy difference between it, and I think that's just growth. And it doesn't make the early stuff bad, it just means, you know, you've come a long way. Yeah, I mean, I see that, but I agree. Like, I mean, if you want to critique stuff, for sure, there's lots to critique. Like, at first I thought that you had like a blur effect in the background, and then I saw like some of the finer detail on the trees, and that kind of threw me a little bit. there's like little things you could critique like it, but it still effectively communicates the joke. It's actually, it ends up being a very different concept that you're communicating than in the remake of it, but it still communicates it really clearly. Yeah, I don't know. It's were I to give you any advice about this, I would say don't be hard on yourself. Barf intensifies. All right. Well, if the barfing is happening, then I don't. I can pull this back. I was not meant to induce the barfitude. It was really just meant to say, look, check it out. That's so cool. Like, look at what you're able to do and change around, and look at how you're able to turn the entire comic with the same script essentially, or the same dialogue, and have it be something so different. It's okay, I barfed 20 pounds. It's like the two things that the stream ended up being about are barf and lemonade, and I don't know how any of it happened. Then you make the remaster. I mean, how do you further remaster this comic? That's what I want to know. I don't know how you do it, my friend. But all that is to say, nice work. This looks really good. And I love not just the art of it, but I love how you've scripted it out, and the idea that you're carrying through. So, well done. Well done. The new cloud method? Wait, what is the new cloud method you saw? Oh, I see what you're talking about. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, honestly. Because, like, yeah, I think about how I typically do clouds anyway, and it's not that, but the shape is very much that in the end. And it makes perfect sense, right? Like, if you think about the fact that, like, clouds are just rising air, they're going to have a wider base than they are at the top, because you've got, the base level of the cloud, and things are not, they're kind of bubbling up from the top. The air is rising. It's getting the water vapor is condensing out of it, and then you could, in theory, for a tall enough one, draw another line at the top to show where it's getting sheared off by the higher level winds, kind of anviling out. You tagged me in the method you found. Okay. Is that over on Instagram? Donde? Where am I looking? There we go. Okay. All right, I can bring this up. Just a second. All right, so this is it. I'll just put it back here in the corner so I can kind of still be sort of here. All right. Yeah, I like that. And it's not necessarily all bubble, but it is definitely a loose, kind of randomly curvy line. Simply divide the volume using 2 lines. Yeah, this makes sense. Because I was also thinking about it, like, and how would you do it for a taller cloud, like a big, like, towering thunder cloud, for example. What was your method before? Again, not that I necessarily do this, but yeah, you just draw until you said good enough. What else do you need to do, right? Yeah, because like if I think about it, hold on. Let's just do this for a second. Since we're all right here, if it's getting too late for you, Frank, let me know. I'm gonna wrap soon anyway, but like, as I usually do my clouds, I like to do, you know, you've got your cloud base. That's an eraser. All right, cloud base, and then kind of something like that. They're usually kind of skewed to one side, and honestly, that's following a lot of the advice, because you're dividing the volume, you know, basically here and here. So if I did that, you know, I could, and I know I round out some. That kind of works. Again, like you could do, well, that's just an L. I think if you're doing something that's like supposed to be a really tall cloud, I would recommend making more of an I shape, because they tend to billow up and anvil out where they reach the capping layer of the atmosphere, and they get blown, you know, the wind's blowing them, shearing them out, and they're spreading out as the air runs out of room to go up, and it has to go outwards. So if you're doing a really tall cloud, I would say add another line at the top. That's the only other thing that I would meteorologically say. Because yeah, with the tall clouds, you're getting there's, you know, they're reaching the top of the troposphere, and the cloud, the way that the temperature profile is, the air can't rise any further, so it has to go out. And it's actually a good rule for meteorology, is where you have air converging at the surface, that you always have air diverging aloft. And likewise, if you've got high pressure, you actually have air coming together aloft, and it's sinking and it's spreading out at the surface. But anyway, that was a lot of stuff just to say this is an interesting technique. I keep drawing that shape, but it does work as a cloud if you take away the other stuff. And even if you do like a perfectly centered line, you get kind of a poofy cloud there. So I could see this works. It makes sense. Will I remember it the next time I go to do something? I don't know, because I forget things all the time. But it's a cool new trick, and thank you for sharing. Yeah. All right. So we're at 12:26. Okay, show's over, folks. That's it. That's all I got. Frank knows what to do. Yeah, so I will wrap up here. As you know, sleep is important for everyone, especially now for Frank. Frank's just got it all covered. Do you have like one command that spews out the other commands? We could do that. Yeah, so basically, You can find me here on Twitch Thursday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern time. That's 7 p.m. Pacific time. I tend to stream for about 2 hours, as I did tonight. Sometimes I go over, as I also did tonight. You can also check out Ashlee and my work on our socials. So we're not just on Twitch. We're also you can find the VODs of this Twitch channel. Oh my gosh. You can find those over on YouTube, also at WagWorksGA. And also I have a few edited vids. I'd like to get some more shorts up there, or some more time lapses of my work. I just haven't gotten to getting them up there yet. And also there's a few that I wanted to edit, a few things I wanted to put together. Eventually they'll go up there. But for now, you'll mainly find VODs there. And like, I think I did Ashlee edited a really cool thing when I did the Sonic blanket for GDQ. She made a nice little edited piece for that. But you can also find us on Instagram. We are WagWorksGA there as well. You can also check out our website, wagworksga.com, where we've got my portfolio. We've got a blog that we don't update super frequently, but we also have a store, and that's cool. But it also will link you to everything that we're doing. You can find us also at CoreToons.substack.com, where we create these educational comics with our KidLit friends. What else? Yeah. And yes, please check out Frank. Absolutely. Check out his work over at Loosey Goosey Comic over on Instagram. I'm going to shout him out one more time. You know, and follow him over here on Twitch. And you can see him draw comics when he's waiting in the lobby for other games. Sometimes. Maybe. Are you going to stream much these days? I didn't even ask. Like, I know you were not super intense on the streaming anyway. But maybe we'll see him back there one of these days. But he's also an awesome mod and a good friend. So thanks, Frank. And also Fallen, thanks for sharing your cakes. It's been really fun getting to show those and talk about them. And thanks for sharing. Well, I asked like a bajillion questions about how you make them. It's much appreciated. Yeah, that just about does it, guys. Fallen, I hope you're feeling better soon. Good luck with all that. Frank, good luck. Good luck with work. I hope you have a good week ahead of you, and good luck with the phase 2 of your plan. Yeah, you guys got this. I'm so excited for you. I think this is it's really cool getting to see your guys's your story grow. So yep, that'll do it. Thank you again, everyone. Have a great week. Have a great night. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time.